Oh, we are live. Dive
are
Bar
live.
Comedy.
Live,
I'm
live.
Wild
We
Joe.
are live.
I've got Carol Newell dancing there, getting us all set up. Our tech guru. Got a lot of great comics in the house. It's going to be a fun show. I believe we're on number 132, maybe 133. We're getting up there. We've been doing this a while now. I guess that makes it over 2 years. So it's a lot of fun, and we're gonna get into it. First, Carol, let's play our theme song by the late and great GT, talking about getting out there into the dive bar scene and doing some dirty, bad, nasty comedy.
You got it, Toyota. There we go.
I wake up when the sun goes down. I wake up when the sun goes down. I wanna do some comedy. I wanna do some comedy. At a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar. I can't say what I wanna say. I can't say what I wanna say. Santa. Dive bar comedy. Dive bar comedy. Dirty, bad, nasty 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 comedy. Dive bar comedy.
The music stop for y'all too?
All right. Well, we had some music. We didn't have the logo, but hey. What? We face different technical difficulties every week on this show. We had some valiant efforts at getting some virtual backgrounds going before the show, which didn't quite make it before 9 p.m. We're live at 9 p.m. Pacific, aka 12 a.m. tomorrow Eastern on Facebook every Tuesday night. So let's get around to, I don't see, Amanda's missing, but oh, there she is. Wow, what an entrance. So let's introduce our comics. We've got Amanda Cohen. Welcome. Are you on the East Coast tonight?
No, I'm in LA, man.
LA. All right. All right. Welcome to the show. And she was walking through our non-dive bar, very blank background. Marty Fiedelman. How are you doing tonight?
Great. How are you doing?
Have you been, is this your first Zoom show or just your first time trying to do a virtual background?
First time with that background. I've done a lot of Zoom shows. The first time with that background, yeah. Usually.
All right, next time we're going to start
before.
We'll do the tech portion like an hour early or 2 hours early to get you going because it takes some time. Or let's see, we had No Filter Paul.
How are you guys doing?
And who said that we can even control each other's screens on Zoom.
I have to do exactly what Amanda was trying to do. I had to do all day, and I just want to smash my computer.
So yeah, he's good at the tech support. He's like, you know what? Stop trying to walk him through it. I'm just going to take over your screen.
Yes, exactly what we do now. We don't with users anymore. We just click, 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 and that's the end of it.
But I want people to learn.
Well, learning class will be 7 p.m. next Tuesday night.
All right. Next time. This is like the do it for them method. You know, it's the same with child rearing. You can either teach them how to do it or you could just do it for them. It's always quicker to do it for them, but then they don't learn anything. So, all right, let's see who else we got. Robin Lakin, welcome.
Welcome. How are you?
I believe this is your first time on our virtual show, correct?
It is. Yes.
All
it's
right.
making me thirsty.
Well, I've got my refreshing water that I'm drinking.
Diet Coke.
All right. All right. Some people are probably drinking the hard booze like Tracy Esposito. What are you
Hi,
drinking
guys.
tonight?
Thank you for having me. Thank you. This looks fun. Thank you.
You're on somebody's on the East Coast. Everybody was confused with the times.
I'm New York here.
Robin is in New York, so she's up
Wow,
late.
she's a trooper.
And No Filter Paul also, you're up late. So you guys can go first. No Filter Paul and then Robin. Although we like it when you can stay to the end of the show
Well,
and
I'm staying to the
and
end of the show,
support.
so it
It's
doesn't
not a
matter
long
where I go
show.
on. Yeah, I'm staying. So wherever you want to
we
put me.
try to
so
get out of here with
I'm easy.
hour and 15 minutes or so. And then finally we have our host every week, never misses a show, whether live or on Zoom, Mr. C. How's it going? Anything new in your world, Mr. C?
Yeah, well, stuff's going good. Just dealing with the COVID stuff. I did get some recent good news. We've been in the background working with the Mike Tyson Ranch, and I got picked up on a podcast we're doing. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow to interview somebody so-called important. So we'll see.
What is the Mike Tyson Ranch?
Well, Mike Tyson, he grows weed and whatnot, but the ranch is the place where he does all his training. So he had the recent fights. So all the clips you saw of him boxing and all that stuff, my homeboy Neil actually edited that video, by the way. But he was actually even at when Mike Tyson went to the wrestling match about 6 months ago. My guy Mickey was the bearded white guy walking around with him that night. So we've been working with him for about a year now, and it's finally come to a head where I got the sports podcast we're going to do. With me, my son's guy named Jake, and this beautiful blonde-haired young lady for an interview like big time people. And the first one's supposed to be tomorrow. I'm flying out to Vegas 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, fun! You're going places. You're getting on a real plane and doing some real live things.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They ain't talking about no money yet. So.
All right. Well, have you got to meet Mike Tyson yet, or you think you're going to meet him on this trip?
My guy Mickey's birthday was about 2 months ago and whatnot, and Mike had a birthday party for him at the Mike Tyson Ranch. He was there. He hung out with us for like 2 hours, chilled out and whatnot. Rebel Wilson was there that night and whatnot. Mike's manager and everything was there. So the other actress, Alexis Knapp. Other people know who she is. I don't know who she is. She fine though. I ain't know she wasn't even an actress. I just knew she was tall and I wanted to stick my dick in. So all these things are great.
You guys are mixing and mingling, and doesn't matter if it's a pandemic or what. You're partying and rubbing shoulders with the celebs.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
It's cool.
Of Mike Tyson mysteries.
All right. How was his voice, Mr. C?
He's exactly like you think he sounds and whatnot. He's a cool dude and whatnot. You know what I mean? And he's short. You know what I'm saying? So you see him at first, like, huh?
You're tall. You're very tall. So everybody's short compared to you. But how short is he? Would you guess?
He'd fold me like a dirty pamper. I know that. But he's about 5'9", 5'10", I guess.
Okay.
But he's like 225.
Maybe that lower center of gravity, he doesn't get knocked down as easily,
Oh yeah. Next time I see him, I'm actually having to talk to him about how I felt like he should have been more of a body blow boxer rather than trying to knock everybody out. Because
give him advice. I'm sure that's what he wants, Mr. C. He needs advice.
Well, I mean, it was the good old days. He already lost. I mean, he lost to taller fighters who jabbed him to death. Buster Douglas did it. Lennox Lewis did it. Vander Holyfield did it. He got so many bit the goddamn man. And all he had to do was just punch him in the stomach, chop down the tree. That's what short guys should do in boxing. So kids out there, if you want to box and you're a little fuck, chop down the tree. Fuck his chin. Beat that shit out of him.
I don't know, Mr. C. I think you should be taking tips from Mike Tyson and not giving them, but let us know how that goes.
I watched him get knocked the fuck out in those fights. I'm good.
What's that called? An armchair spectator or whatever. Anyway. All right. Well, this is fun. Let's see. Carol wants to give some announcements. I see Carol.
Of course.
Tell us about what's been going on. And don't just list up a bunch of shows, because you're always listing shows. Tell us how's it been going out there? What's been going on out in the field?
Talk about last Saturday when Mr. C came to the park at the Pan Pacific Park and did some comedy. Yeah, that was fun. It was good to see him in person, and he is tall, very tall.
Like 6'4", I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
He is a tall drink of water.
Carol,
he's got other tall parts.
I haven't seen Mr. C actually do a stand-up set before because he's always the MC. How'd it go?
It went well. He did good. I was very excited about that. Seeing him in person and seeing him do the comedy, and yeah, he killed it for sure.
Nice. Nice.
Mhm.
Well, he's a
And then
very
we
funny
did
guy.
carpool comedy last Saturday night, and that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great time. We had a bunch of cars, and we did the thing, and we climbed up on the back of the truck. Amanda knows about that. She did our first carpool comedy. She was our headliner.
So how often is carpool comedy going on now? Every week?
It's a monthly. It's every month.
Monthly.
So our next one will be March 20th. Tickets will be available at carpool_comedy on the Instagram or at the Eventbrite. Just search for carpool comedy and you should be able to find us. And it was a good time. I mean, for
So the
25 bucks.
the performer standing up on a truck,
Yeah, we got
and
a
then
truck.
everybody is kind of just parked around it like
Mhm.
in a parking lot.
Like Footloose, but in person.
That sounds cool. You just
It
need
is.
some girls on roller skates with those trays serving.
Yeah, it's at a diner, so you can order food. You just call them up and they'll bring it right out to your car. They have car help
Really?
service. Yeah,
That's wonderful.
it is.
Oh,
It's
that sounds like
fantastic.
a lot of fun. So where is this diner?
In North Hollywood, it's the NoHo Diner on Magnolia, and yeah, so that's where we're doing it now. The NoHo loves us. We love the NoHo, and so they have facilities. You can, go in and use the restroom. You can order hot cocoa and with whipped cream, and it's delicious. And yeah, it's a
Yum.
good time.
All right, Carol, and you always have a lot of shows going on, virtual and real, so people can find you at The World's Best Laugh on
That's
Instagram, right?
And on
or
the
look up
Facebook.
your name on Facebook, right? And they can
And
find
I
all
have
of your shows.
The World's Best Laugh on Facebook, and
On The
also
World's Best
there's
Laugh.
the World's Best Laugh group too.
All right, great.
Branding, my baby, branding.
Carol's doing it. I mean, nobody's more active than you. You're out there pretty much every single night of the week.
Mhm.
So good for
Yep.
you. All right, let's get to know some of our comics a little bit better. Amanda Cohen, I
Hi.
believe you've been on our audio only podcast out at one of the dive bars. I think that's it was probably a couple years ago. I think that's how I have your name.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, I don't know, but that's where I get pretty much everyone is from. We would do live shows out at different dive bars and interview comics walking into the show and put up clips on an audio only version that we did for almost 2 years. And then when the pandemic hit and we couldn't go out in the field anymore, we started doing this video version, which is great because we can see everybody's faces. And we sure do miss seeing faces when everybody's wearing a mask all around town. So I love it. So Amanda, I know that you are so great at tech support. Is that your regular job?
Well, I'm a Zoom producer professionally, which is the thing I didn't even know existed until, this summer when or spring, I guess, I started learning Zoom for the sake of comedy, and now I produce shows.
Awesome. So you're running shows, comedy shows then?
Well, I don't run them. I just kind of help with the tech part. I've been working with I don't know, can I mention the name of a club?
Sure.
So there's not a place. It's called Nowhere Comedy. And they do amazing shows with amazing headliners, a lot of whom are literally still doing their first time Zoom shows. Like this weekend, we did a guy's first time Zoom show. And it's amazing because they get first time Zoom viewers. So people are still discovering this thing that we're hoping to get away from and get back to normal clubs. But Zoom is still emerging for a lot of people, and it's great. So basically, I know how to, press buttons and get a banana.
All right. And how'd you get started into doing stand-up comedy? How long have you been doing it, and where were you when you got started?
Well, I have been doing stand-up comedy for 16 years, not in a row. I started when I was 17, and did it all.
So 17 plus 16, that puts you at 33.
And it's my birthday tomorrow. I turned 30.
All right.
I started literally when I was in high school, and I did it all through college. And before I finished college, I was doing paid gigs and did that for a while. And then I moved to Chicago to study at Second City, and I just kind of dropped stand-up for reasons. And then 5 years ago, I was at a show and I had an epiphany. And I thought, oh my God, that's right. I'm a stand-up comic. I forgot. And I started doing it again. That was September 2015. And
you were back in LA? Where were you then?
I was living in Chicago at the time. So I was
still in Chicago.
for a couple years and then moved to LA.
Great. Great. Well,
Yeah.
well, welcome to the show, and glad you made it on.
And my
So-
my advice for all comics out there: don't quit. But if you
Don't
do
stop.
quit, walk away forever, because coming back is not going to be easier. You think it is, but I'm like a newbie with 16 years of experience. You know, so it's like
But you're filling a different slot because you might not be the same as all the other. Sometimes a lot of comics all kind of have the same look, you know.
I have
and-
the experience of most 30-year-olds. That's the problem.
But
So-
you have you have probably more life experience or different life
I have all
experience
the
than the
life
30-year-olds.
experience, yeah, but they're not booking you for life experience. They book you when you.
All right. Well, your set though has got to be a little different than the norm, you know, if you've been
I like
out there doing all kinds of things for however long.
I
So
like to think so.
we'll find out
Okay,
in a
okay.
few minutes. All right. Thanks. Marty Fiedelman, how are you doing tonight other than your Zoom?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm not a real tech person. If you have a tech question, give it to somebody else.
This is not a technical interview. I'm just
Oh,
getting to
good.
know. It's a getting to know
Green
you
wall looks
interview.
good.
So, Marty, do you remember? I believe you've been on our real life show before, but gosh, everything's so long ago. I don't know where these people are coming from that I'm booking. I went down the list of all the people that have been on our show in the past, and that's who I wrote to. But sometimes people just pop up on my show. I don't remember how they got here. So, Marty,
I don't know. You contacted
you remember?
me. Yeah, you contacted me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with backgrounds, but other than that, you take away the background, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good to go. Yeah.
All right. So how'd you get started in stand-up comedy?
I'm not sure.
You don't remember?
I don't
You
even
don't know
know.
your you
was
don't know
like
the virtual
I think
background, and you don't even
Lincoln
know
was
your own
president or something.
background.
It's been a while. No, it was a while. I was doing it for a long time. Then I took time off to get married and get divorced, and you know, it was. So I did that. It was a while. It was a while ago, and I was taking acting classes. I'm not even sure why. You know, I guess.
Was your wife? Did she disapprove of stand-up comedy?
Did what?
Did your wife
Oh
disapprove?
no, she was fine. She was fine. She didn't know She didn't know what I was even doing. I'd be gone. She didn't. That's fine.
You were secretly sneaking off doing stand-up comedy? I mean,
No, it was good. It was.
okay. Don't incriminate yourself, Marty. So,
Yeah.
all right. And then where are you from originally?
Well, I can tell you, I was conceived in New York, but I was born
Wow.
in Minnesota.
Tell us
I
more
was-
about the
I was
conception.
raised in Minnesota. Yeah.
Tell,
What?
tell us all about the conception. What do you know about that?
About what?
Yeah.
Well, your parents, I mean, they gave you a lot of detail about when you were conceived. They're like, and one night we were in New York and we were feeling frisky. I mean, how do you know all this, Marty?
You know what? It's not that glamorous. My whole thing is I was adopted, so I'm getting bits and pieces and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay. I thought
They
your
were-
parents
they-
just had a
it's a long
wild
story,
night
yeah.
in New York. Okay.
no, my parents went to a romantic weekend in New York, and that wasn't exactly the case. They had me, and then they had me in Minnesota, and then she was out of town about an hour later on a plane back to New York. That's pretty much what happened.
Okay. Well, here you are. Now,
Back,
And
she
where
went
are
back
you
to New
now?
York and left me there. Yeah.
where are you now? You're in
I'm
New
in
York now?
LA.
In LA. You're in LA. Okay. Most of us are. That's where the real life show started. So most people either are in LA or were in LA, although some have gone back home to be more comfortable if they're nesting during this last year.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, welcome to the show, and I can't wait to
Thank
hear
you.
your set. All right, Robin Lakin,
Yes,
how are you doing?
I'm okay. Took a lot of B12 step tonight.
Okay, so you are on the East Coast
I am, yeah.
in New York, or where are you now?
Well, I'm in New Jersey, but I'm lived in Manhattan for many years. I lived in LA also, but I'm about 20 minutes over the GW in
Okay.
Jersey. So I'm really close. Yeah, I'm close to the city. So
How's the weather out there? Is it freezing?
fucking freezing. Yeah, a lot of snow. Very cold. So cold I didn't eat my Botox this morning. Yeah, very very cold out here. But we're getting through it. You know, we haven't had bad winters, so I can't complain. This winter was rough, but prior to this, last 2 years were pretty good.
And you're
So-
staying, you guys are all staying home for the most part, or are you guys?
Well, actually, I was
going
in
out into
LA
the
about
weather?
3 months. I spent time in LA about 3 months ago. I was there, and then
Okay.
I came back. My daughter was there for a while. She works in New York, but she was in LA for a while, so I went and spent some time with her, and then I came back.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been COVID traveling.
And how do you
Yeah.
deal with the airports and the airplanes and all of that stuff? Are
Well,
you like, are you doing the N95 mask, or you're just?
Yeah, N95, another mask over it. And
Oh, wow.
honestly, flying out to LA, there were only 6 people on the plane with me.
Oh,
Flying
wow.
back, there were more. There were about 25.
How are
But
the
going to tell you
prices?
6 people.
Has the pricing gone down now that it's all empty?
Well,
or has it gone up?
Yeah, it was going down. Now it's going back up again.
Okay.
So it's starting to go back. People are traveling more now than they were in the beginning. But when I went to LA, I mean, I think I spent about $99. It was like
Wow.
it would be 90 round trip. Yeah, it was really cheap.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I went to New York was like 3 weeks after September 11th, which is pretty tacky, but the round trip was like $99 on United. I was like, hey, I'm
You
going.
know what? That was probably the safest time to fly right after 9/11. I mean,
Yeah.
the airports were
Maybe.
like fortresses.
Maybe. Yeah, I didn't really get anywhere near the site because, there's pollution. There's a smell in the air, and they had it kind of blocked off anyway for all around. So I didn't get too close, but I met people in New York and had a fun introduction to the city. And I went back many, many times after that. And it was one of my second places that I always really like to go to, but I haven't gone on a plane, a bus, or any public transportation in the last year. I booked, I have a timeshare that goes almost all over the place, but I booked everything within like 1 or 2 hour drive from LA. So I don't have to encounter germs, but now I got COVID in December. So I guess who cares? So
Oh, so you probably
Hey,
had
Carry it.
okay.
yeah, I got it from the people I'm living with. So couldn't really avoid them, but
Now we're immune to everything for 90
I
days.
feel very immune. I don't know if I am, because now there's new strains and all this, but I feel much more relaxed about catching it, because it, for me, was not a big deal. And for some people, it can be a huge deal, but for me, it was no worse than a cold, probably easier than a normal cold. But
Lucky.
anyway, all right, Robin, well, welcome to the show. We won't keep you up
Thank
too
you
late.
for having me.
Yeah, it should be fun. All right, let's see. We got No Filter Paul in the house.
Hey, how are you
Also
guys?
on the East Coast, right? Where are
Yes,
you
yes.
tonight?
I'm in New Jersey as well, but I'm probably 75 miles south of Robin because I'm by the Jersey Shore.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
what it
wow.
feels
How's
like.
that?
Supposed to sound like.
It's
Is it like the show?
that crappy show is actually filmed about 6 miles from my house, and while that was going on, that town got ripped apart by tourists and people coming to take photos, and it got crazy. And thank God it's not on anymore.
I mean, would you say that show was kind of representative of a major type of people that you find in that area?
No, because most of them are from Staten Island. Not at all.
All right. All right. Well, you got your specifics down. You sound like you're originally from England, right?
Yes, and I was interested. Marty was saying he was adopted. I was adopted too, and one of the
Me
companies I
too,
run.
me too.
One of the companies I
did,
run.
yeah.
One of my companies, we reunite people with their families. That's one of the businesses I have. So that's pretty
Oh, wow.
interesting.
You know, my
also,
dad,
yeah.
some guy wrote me on Facebook a few years back and said that he was my dad's long lost son, but they were only like 14 years, I think 15 years difference in age. They were like 53 and 67. I said, so he would have been having sex when he was 14, but the guy looked exactly like my dad, but just like a little off twisted. I mean, there was no way he wasn't his long lost son.
That's
And
great. Yeah. With the answer,
yeah,
with the DNA
it turns
test,
out
it
it's
gets
like an adoption. You know, the mother was like 14. They
right.
put the baby up for adoption without telling anyone. And then, yeah, 53 years later, he found my dad. They've met in person, and I think they see each other about once or twice a year. And and it's interesting. He found 12 sisters too, because his
It's
mom
very
had 9
interesting. It's very
sisters.
interesting to be on the outside watching the reunions, because I've done like over 500.
Yeah,
Everyone's different, you know. There's everybody different, expects different things. You know, you
Yeah.
don't know what you're getting. I also,
Well,
Robin was talking
My
about
dad was
airline
like so
tickets.
surprised he can't even remember the girl. Like, and I'm like, how do you? It must have been like your first time or one of your first times. And he's like, what was her name? Like he can't even. He's like, maybe that was my neighbor that we went up in the attic. Like he doesn't even remember the girl
Right.
because it was so long ago. But
Oh.
they had a kid, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden he has a
And-
son, and he has a grandson and a great grandson all of a sudden
Right.
out of nowhere. You know,
In England,
Pretty
when in the
crazy.
70s, they used to ship the girl off because it was embarrassing to have a kid out of wedlock, and that's where a lot
Yeah.
of the adoptions, like my adoption was like that. Parents shipped her out of town, have the kid, never told the dad. They found them all, so that was cool, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if both people are okay with being found, that seems like it could be happy. But
Well,
if
the
one
father
person
didn't
is
know.
trying not to be found, then that could
A
be
lot of
bad.
the fathers don't know because the women don't tell them.
Yeah, that's true too.
And Robin was
Wow.
talking about cheap airline tickets. I bought like 20 airline tickets round trip to England, $78.
What?
$78 round trip to England. I bought a
What airline?
Air Portugal.
Is it the one where you have to pay like $500 for your luggage once you get to the airport?
Yeah, right? No, it
No,
included
there's like
one
Ryanair,
bag
there's
each.
certain ones that are so horrible.
Yeah.
You get a cheap flight.
Yeah, oh
and
yeah,
then
they get you.
have,
They
like,
get you.
two
That is
bags,
scary.
little
I've
bags, and
been
they
on-
start
I've been on
charging
some
so
of those.
much.
Yeah, you try to
Yeah.
come back with an extra bag and it's like another 400. Well, no, this included one. They were giving them away in like April.
Wow.
$78. I saw tickets to Vegas for $35.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still cheap. It's cheap. COVID has made it cheap.
Well, maybe I
England,
need
they
to
just
run
England,
around.
they just announced they were opening up again. Yesterday, they announced, and my adopted sister, she runs a travel agent, and she said that yesterday 500 people came to her store book because they just announced they're opening like May 17th in England. But
Oh my
everybody's
gosh.
booking vacations now in England. It's gone crazy.
Right.
Wow. And people are bored. They're stir crazy. So,
Good morning.
man. Well, welcome to the show. And thanks for staying up late to be on this. Let's see, we're down to our final comic, Tracy Esposito.
Hey, guys.
You're in LA then.
I'm in
Right.
LA and I'm exhausted. I guess it's perimenopause.
But you sound like you're from
That-
New York. You've got a little.
Oh, yeah,
a
no,
little
I'm from
twinge
Staten
of an
Island, yeah.
accent.
From
Where are you
Staten
from?
Island.
Staten Island?
Staten Island. Nobody knows where that is, but it's where they throw the
Well, No
bodies.
Filter Paul knows where it is. So
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah, we throw our
I know where
garbage
that
there.
is.
You throw your garbage there and the dead bodies, yeah.
How long have you been in LA?
I've been in LA for like 15 years, so I can't
Wow.
get rid of the accent.
Well, keep it. It's interesting. You know, you don't want to sound like everybody else.
No, people said they love it, so I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long
Yeah.
have you been doing comedy then? Did you move out
Oh,
here
I've
to
been
do
doing
or-
comedy for 27 years, but I
Woof.
took some time off to do a one-person show. So I did start out with Jim Gaffigan. I did all those things in New York. And Dave
But Jim
Chappelle.
Gaffigan, if you guys were both starting out, he wasn't famous yet either, right? He was just some guy.
He was
So,
just some guy that I
Did
kissed.
you start to get jealous when he hit it big? I mean, he's very funny.
No, you know what it was? Jim was always a workaholic, and like he worked so much that when he got things, you just look at him and you go, he deserves it. Like, you know, like it was just this guy just constantly did shows all night, constantly.
I see. And he's clean. He's a clean comic, family
Yeah.
comic, which is very marketable and he's very funny. So, you know, and if
Yeah,
he's
the
a
new-
nice guy off stage, then hey.
Oh no, yeah,
he deserves
funny
it.
off stage, always very complimentary, just a nice guy. But you know, we used to get jealous of people that got something that didn't work as hard. But someone like him, you're like, he deserves it. Works so
That's
hard.
great. That's great. So what was your one woman show?
Oh, I did a one-person show about my mom and me. My mom passed many years ago, so I did the play. It was very therapeutic. I made it into a pilot. It got in the LA Times. It did well,
Cool.
but I took some time off of stand-up for a little bit to do that and write the screenplay for it. So I'm trying to sell it still, but it was nice to do. It was really therapeutic.
Yeah, and you're still performing on stage. I mean, a little bit different medium, but
You're right.
still up there performing. You weren't really
Yeah, for an
taking a
hour.
break, doing
You're right.
nothing.
For an hour, I was up there. Thank you for saying I never lost touch with it because I'm like, oh, I took a little break, but it's like, you know,
Yeah, just
do
doing
this
something
play.
a little bit different. So
Yes.
cool. Cool. Well,
thank
I'm
you.
glad
Thank
to
you for
have
having
on.
me. Thank you for finding me and having me.
Yes, we got a lot of East Coasters tonight. We got a lot of people that were adopted tonight. So I'm seeing a few
You know
themes.
what? I have to say,
Adopted.
I was not adopted. I thought you said that
Robin.
you and Marty, okay, I'm gonna change the subject. I thought
Go
I
ahead.
thought you said that you and Marty were both doctors.
Doctor. You're a doctor.
Yes, I
Wait,
went to
so
medical
two
school
are
after like
adopted and
25
one
years as
person's
an
a doctor.
actress. And then I went to medical school, then I became a comic. I thought he
Oh,
said,
wow.
product of my age, I thought you said that you were both doctors. I didn't think you said you were both adopted. Not that there's anything
Wow.
wrong with being adopted.
Robin, are you still a doctor or not? You're
No,
retired?
no. I started acting when I was in my teens, like 13. I started Lee Strasberg's, and I studied and worked as an actress until I was in my late 20s. Then I don't know, I had a judgment lapse, went back to college, went to medical school in New York, and then I hated it. Someone's talking. Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Sorry, I have a
Oh,
baby
oh.
and she's
hi, baby.
infiltrated the bathroom. I try to get
Anyway,
away
yeah, so
and they
no, I've
just
been doing
follow
comedy
me.
about 10 years now.
So did you actually become a doctor that like
I
with
have a
patients and
medical
stuff?
degree. It's hanging up behind me, but you can't see it because I'm in the bar right now.
So, I mean, what kind of doctor? Like what were you doing?
Well, pediatrics, but
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
pediatrics. I never talk about this in shows, never. But I thought they said.
No, but it's so interesting because I think you're the
It's the
first
interview
doctor
portion.
comic that we've ever had. We've got doctors.
Oh, there's
and
a
we've
lot
got
of them in New York.
adopted.
The head of ENT at Columbia is also a comic with me.
Wow. All right. Well, this is fun. This is going to be a fun show. You know, I have to put a title on every episode. It gets harder and harder the more I've used every title I can imagine. But I think this one might be the doctors and the adopted.
Oh, hilarious.
Nice, nice,
That is
nice.
fun.
That's eyewash.
All right, Mr. C, you've got our first two comics that want to go up are the East Coasters.
East Coast,
right?
and that's Robin and Paul, right?
I believe so. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So we can go ahead and start this show. It's going to be a lot of fun. So welcome, Mr. C.
Yeah. All right. So it's time to start the Dive Bar Comedy Show. I'm Mr. C, the Enforcer, aka Poppy, call little bad boy, Skid Bags representative. Glad to always be here all the time so we can make it silly. Hope you got your drinks on you. I don't know if you smoke the tweeds. It is kind of legal in some places, so get that up in you. And let's tell some jokes. So you guys ready for the first comedian? Can I get a yeah? All right. So this first comedian is a beast from the East, and I'm not talking about just the East. I'm talking about so far East it crosses the thing called the pond. He came to this place and drops it like a bomb, and his girl is getting customers like she the mine because they open it up in Glon. So you better get ready to give me a clap, 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 or no filter.
How's everybody doing? So yeah, I got COVID just like Carol and all the other people pretty much on this Zoom. And I went home and told my wife I got a positive test, and she said I'm going to my mother-in-law's for 6 weeks. So I just want to say, fuck vaccinations. I'm getting COVID again next month. And you know, they say we have antibodies, you know, and according to the news, it's between 1 day and 8 months. So there's a bit of a indecision there. Yeah, it's just horrible, you know. I saw in the news that we landed the Mars rover. Did you guys see that? And I can't believe we can do that, but I still can't get my wife to orgasm. I remember in high school, I was going out with this awful young lady. And I remember we were looking for the clit, and all I could find was a Snickers bar. Yeah, it's just fucking horrible. It really is. Yeah, I was watching porn on my TV the other day, and all of a sudden, YouTube Kids popped up. Oh, shit. My grandson figured out how to change it on his iPad, my TV. Let me tell you, I never came that hard in my whole life.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. And my cousin died before COVID. And yeah, he died. I'm in two minds about it, you know, because, you know, on one hand, he was a really nice guy. I grew up with him. We used to spend time together. And on the other side, he lent me $400. Yeah, you know, and I know there's a lot of ladies in the show tonight, but, you know, for the one or two guys, you know, does anyone ever, or like your wife ever called your bluff when you said, hey, if we have a threesome, the other girl can be really much uglier than you? Yeah, that didn't work out. It didn't work out. I've been married 24 years. And, yeah, sure, don't clap. And so yeah. Can someone tell me what this wet ass pussy is?
I can tell you.
Just send pictures. at No Filter Paul
I can
on
do that
as
too.
it's at No Filter Paul, as Carol says, on the Instagram and the Facebook.
Right.
What is that about?
Oh.
Because when you're over 50, the AARP says you have to say
Yeah,
yeah.
It's pretty funny because Carol knows a lot more about social media than a lot of people, but she just fucks it up by saying, "Oh yes," and then you go on the Instagram, and everybody in the room's like, "What?" It's just crazy, and I'm really kind of upset because tomorrow was supposed to be my mother-in-law's funeral. The fucking bitch canceled it again. This is how lonely I am. If I was raped, I'd have the cops send the DNA to Ancestry so I can find the guy and ask for a second date. I've been married 24 years. All these people that say COVID, was, oh my God, it was so bad. I was in hospital for 2 months. I've been married 24 years. Fuck your 2 months, all right? Everybody's happily married on this Zoom, but they say that, when you're married, you get a 7-year itch, right? They say it's a 7-year itch, but during COVID, it's 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
I've been bitch watching Forensic Files. Can one of you guys help me bury a body? It's horrible, I just can't wait to get to my teaching job because I haven't seen my girlfriend for 10 months.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
It's just fucking horrible. I'm the kind of guy that jerks off on the way to a strip club so I can save $100.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, right? It's a big laugh, and then every guy in the room's like, huh. I go to, have you guys ever been to such a cheap hotel when you blacklight the room, there's a big cum stain on the bed. When you go to flip the mattress, the guy that came is still under the bed.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And have you ever fucked something so awful, the wife just forgives you?
Damn.
Yeah. The ladies in the room, I'm sure if your husband or whatever came back with something really, really horrible, you would just feel sorry for him. It's just,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy, I lie in bed at night though. I do lie in bed, and I'm very thoughtful, and I think to myself, I really hope my wife doesn't become disabled. Because I would look like such a much bigger cunt when I leave. I don't know. It's just relationships. I'm guessing there's a lot of people here that have been married same kind of amount of time, like 20, 25 years, right? Yeah. So you guys, you're not a minute, but you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about, So is it me or is the worst job in TV blurring out tits and pussies on My 600-Pound Life?
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can just cringe because of what. Yeah, yeah. I spend a lot of time locked up with my kids, my grandkids, my wife, my daughter's fiance. I got to tell you something. It's been great because 23 years ago I should have pulled out.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. You hear strange things during the pandemic. I actually heard a Chinese guy complain that someone fucked his food order up. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And they say animal adoptions is up. Anybody adopt a pet during the pandemic?
No.
No? You know what? I think it's cool, because Koreans have got to eat. And they say that, when you do comedy, you get all these 18 to 21s. You guys have heard that, right? Mr. C, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you started comedy, you're like, I'm going to get all these 18 to 21s. Unfortunately, it's dress size. It's just crazy. And they say nothing lasts forever, but have you ever tried jerking off to Rosie O'Donnell? All right, the biggest laugh is from that lady, and I'm like, okay. Normally everyone's there. So I did come home the other day, and I found my TV in a box in the middle of the room. I said to my wife, I said, why is my TV in a box in the middle of the room? She said, it's a smart TV. It's leaving you too.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to Paul. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate the time.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, another round of applause for No Filter Paul. You gotta love the Dive Bar Comedy Show. Open up with great comedy, international flavor, and educational information. You know, men learn something today. Fellas, before you go to the strip club,
Yes, exactly.
oh my God, I'll tell you that. I'm not even going to the strip club, and I'm gonna do that after the show just to practice.
Think about it. If you do, sometimes when you do that, you just say, "Fuck, well, I don't even need to go to the strip club now."
Yeah. No, I gotta go for the dramatic effect and whatnot. Then I feel like I got my money's worth. It's like going to the casino and winning.
You go there because
I
you
go in
really
and I spent $20, but I'm there for 3 hours drinking soda.
You're the one pretending you actually like the chicken wings.
Right. But I will say, man, this is different. Is your wife a sister or anything?
What?
Is your wife a black woman or anything?
Oh no, she's
Okay.
she's Italian, Polish, and she's whatever it is that makes a woman get above you and wave her hands around violently above you.
Okay.
She's mad.
Because you mentioned about the cheating thing. I'm gonna tell you something about the sisters. The one thing that they will stab you in your chest with a spoon just so you can feel it is don't you ever cheat with some broad that don't look better than me.
Is that true?
They will hunt you down. They
Gotta
will
change my
hunt
grinder
you
profile.
down. Like if she look better than her, she's like, oh, okay, you know what? She did. I mean, I would have banged her too. Like, sister's kind of weird like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. So if you ever get divorced and you date a sister, then just make sure you cheat with somebody fine. So that's what we learned today. Cheat with somebody fine and masturbate. Everybody do that. So now round of applause and no filter.
Everybody else's set's gonna be exactly the same material, right?
Keep it back to back on the East Coast in Jersey. Dirty Jersey is what we call it. New Jerusalem is what the thugs call it. It's all kind of town. We're going to bring it up from the shore where the douchebags pump their fists to closer to New friggin' York. We got a lady coming to the stage. You guys ready for this next comedian? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So, since we're on the East Coast and it's late, we got to do something kind of ground. We got to get that East Coast feel going. So we got, what's a classic New York thing? It's like, hey, I'm freaking walking here. So I need y'all to say that with me in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm freaking walking here.
Freaking walking
here. Give me a clap, 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 clap. This next comedian comes to the stage. Robin Leckett.
Robin! All right, hold on. We open the box. Okay, there we go. Because I hate to see my whole face on the screen. How you guys doing, everybody? Good tonight? Yeah, okay. I'm married for 35 years. Not bad for two people who hate each other. My only people who've been married a long time get that one. Next month is my 36th wedding anniversary, and I wanted to get, I know, right? That's a long time. I wanted to get my husband something, very special, very representative of 35 long years of marriage. So I spent the whole week trying to book him a flight to Wuhan, China. It was very, it was really cheap because I only booked it one way. Now, I don't want to give you the impression on this show that I don't love my husband. I have to say I love my husband. I really do. There's just two little things he does that really irritate me when he inhales and exhales. But what can I say? We're old, we have issues. He has high blood pressure and a swollen prostate. I have bad knees and no interest. But we worked it out. He takes Viagra and I take Xanax. This way, if it doesn't work, I won't be disappointed. Now, my husband likes to role play. Anyone here like to role play, have fun, sexual fantasies? Okay, well, we like to role play. This is what happens when your husband is too cheap to pay for Pornhub. You have to make your own movies. So his favorite fantasy is he dresses up as a doctor. I'm the patient. I go in the bedroom. He leaves me waiting on the bed for 20 minutes reading some shitty ass magazine. Usually like Popular Mechanic. Then he comes in the bedroom with his, scrubs rolled down to his ankles. And he's like, okay, Robin, open wide. And he starts poking and prodding and prodding and poking. And I'm like, wow, I think he's feeling for lymph nodes. And then when he's done, he's like, okay, Robin, see you in 6 months. I'm like, hold on, this schmuck. I like a little something too. He's like, for that I'll have to refer you to a specialist. I'm like, oh, what? You mean like a linguist? Yeah. Just make sure he's very cunning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Paul mentioned a threesome. My husband asked me about doing a threesome, and my answer to him was, I'm so selfish. There's no way that's happening. And I barely have enough time to pleasure myself, let alone bring someone else into the mix. On top of which, I have absolutely no eye-hand-eye coordination. Couldn't handle it. Anyway, my husband turned 60 last month, and I wanted to do something special for him. So I took him to Atlantic City. Anybody here go to Atlantic City? You guys probably go to
Yeah.
Vegas or LA
Yeah.
crab, right?
Yeah.
Atlantic City. Oh my God, I took him to the Borgata Hotel. I called the hotel. I said, I want the best fucking room. And then this is, my husband's 60th birthday. They gave me a penthouse. We walked in, man, what a fucking great room. There were mirrors on the ceiling, jacuzzi for 2, maybe 3. There's a fireplace,
shit.
there was champagne on ice. Yeah, no, it was a great room for a couple who's actually having sex. Now, my husband, I have to say, he likes to gamble. I think he has a little bit of a gambling issue, but what he really loves, he's a big guy, my husband. What he really loves is when he gambles, they give him those vouchers. The little vouchers you get when you gamble? He freaking loves those because you get free food. He's like, this is great. It's better than a bar mitzvah or a wedding because it's free and I don't have to give a gift. He thinks he's like James Caan, from the movie The Gambler, but he's really James Can't. Anyway, I said to him, honey, forget gambling, all this money you're losing. I said, you really want to eat an all-night buffet? Pick your ass up, go over to Hackensack, New Jersey. There's a Golden Corral. You can eat like you got 2 assholes. And if you need the gambling incentive, I'll give you 50-50 odds you're walking out of there with E. coli or COVID. So I have kids, and it's so different today than it was years ago, right? Like when I was a kid and I got sick, my doctor would make a house call. My mother would call, hello, Dr. Garman. This is Mrs. Siegel. Robin's not feeling well, right? He'd come to the house, make a house call. He'd even give me a lollipop just as soon as he was done molesting me. I would complain to my mother, my Jewish mother from Brooklyn. She'd be like, Robin, stop kvetching. He's Jewish. He's a doctor. He's never been married. He has no baggage. So what? Today the lollipop, tomorrow the ring.
Hey.
I'd be like, Mom, he's 57. He's never been married. Knock, knock. She had no idea what I was talking about. Today, Dr. Gurman is married to Paul. I think they met in prison. Anyway. So, Carol Doctor. So, I'll just tell you quickly. I have a daughter. She's a millennial. I fucking hate millennials. But she wanted to know what I wanted to do special this week, because I helped her with some work. And I said, how about we go get waxed together? Because here in Jersey, the waxing places are open. She goes, Mom, you know what? That's fine, but I want to tell you something, and you got to not take this so personal. She goes, you know how you're going to be married to Daddy almost 36 years? You know how I get that Brazilian thing and you're stuck back in the 80s with that runway? She goes, because you married so long, why don't you do Daddy a favor? Why don't you get yourself a Brazilian? He'll love it. I said, first of all, it's none of your fucking business. Listen, I watch Oprah. I know about boundaries. I said, second of all, your father likes, no, he loves my runway. Besides, at his age, honestly, he needs a little guidance. It's not like we're frequent flyers anymore. More like puddle jumpers on Virgin Atlantic. Once you finally take off, before you know it, the trip's over. All right, you've been great. I wish you all the fabulous lives you pretend to have on Instagram.
And another round of applause for Robin.
Woo, Robin, good shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, me, I'm 45. I'm Generation X. I still like a little muff, shall we say? I like a little muff. I like a little
original
warmer
packaging.
Yeah. Because sometimes you come home from a long night of working and you'll fall asleep face first. You need a pillow, and that's a perfect comfort. That's actually happened once. I got slapped in the head so hard. Oh my God. God, she's so hard on father. But that's the beauty of love. And the fact that she's been married so long, had beautiful kids. Her daughter, she's a savage. So we'll work on that. She all up in mom business.
Do that.
That's a left hook. That's a left hook. But you know, we violent in the community. That's probably why we do it so crazy. That's how it goes. America. That's why we run in Congress. It would not. But once again, another great job and another round of applause for Robin Leakey.
Ooh, Robin.
All righty, right. So we got our next comedian come to the stage. Now, this lady right here is actually a classic dive bar veteran. She's been to the real life situation. She's actually became pretty much like the Harriet Tubman of Zoom. She even has like a phrase. She was like, I could have freed more Zoom comedians if they'd have only known that they wasn't free. That's her motto. So if you ever want to give this lady, hit her up. She can probably even teach you Zoom. I don't know if she's offering classes, but she might want to offer them. Great side job. People will take it and pay you for it. So let's get this lady upstairs. You guys ready to see the queen of Zoom, the Harriet Tubman of the Zoom shit? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
All right, that's right. Let me get a clap for Amanda, aka Mandy Cohen.
I literally didn't know that intro was from me. I was all excited to meet the Harriet Tubman of Zoom, man. I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh,
Oh no.
wait a minute. And then I
Jens, we
died.
lost you.
The slam catches got her.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, I'm that Zoom expert that we're all talking about. Apparently, yeah, I do some Zoom, a little bit of Zoom production, just a little bit. The problem is you got to realize that for comedians, doing live shows is like heroin. This is methadone.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
It's not, it'll take the edge off, but it's not quite as good. You know, we're not chasing the dragon here. We might be running after a small lizard. All right. But I don't mind it. I've been having a wonderful quarantine alone. Thank you. And, a friend of mine was like, don't you wish you had a man around? What, just some random man just around? And she was like, you know, someone to open pickle jars and stuff. And I told her, I have a tool for that. I have tools for most things men can do. I'm going to show you my favorite one. Hang on a second. There it is. Oh, yeah. Who needs a man? That's what it's about. I know some of you thought that was going in a different direction. I apologize, but there are kids in the room, so we're being cool. Joe, Wild Joe, are your kids still in the room? Or she's gone, and she's completely gone. Okay, she has given up. She just said, "I'm going to take care of those kids." I have no kids. I kept this gene pool. You're welcome. I'm very proud to have no kids. Here's the thing, though. I finally was told. My doctor told me I'm officially in menopause. I can't have kids anymore, and now I feel like the thing that I never used doesn't work anymore. which is like having a Porsche with no engine. You know, it's like, so what? And now they want me to take like hormones so I can pretend that the thing that doesn't work is working, even though I never needed it. Which is like sitting in that Porsche going vroom vroom. Just pointless. It's pointless. But I've had fun in the Zoom in the Zoom doing the Zoom in the quarantine, and yes, I'm old enough to call it the quarantine. Hi, Carol.
You got that?
I actually went on the keto, and I'm old enough to call it the keto too. And if
You
you're
got
not
that
in LA,
AARP memo, huh?
I did get the memo. I wouldn't join though. It's like, hey, here's 10% off of everything you never wanted. Thanks, AARP. I used to tell people, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm AARP years old. And then the kids are like, why are you doing Roman numerals? I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but when I first started buying feminine hygiene products, the box still said beltless.
Helpless.
Beltless.
shit.
Yes, some of you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, I know.
Yep, the rest of you are men. Okay. Back in the day, women needed gear to hold stuff in place. It was literally a belt with metal strappy things and metal clamps, and that was it. And that was the standard for like 100 years. Guys, don't Google it. You don't want to know. That was all we, and nobody complained because the alternative was nothing. That was it until like the 1970s. And finally, the 1970s, the women's movement happened, and women were in the streets marching, going, "We want adhesives." So, ladies, respect your elders. We gave you wings.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
So here's the deal. I lost some weight. I went on the keto. I lost some weight, and found out that my stomach was holding up my boobs. Which I inherited these from my from my mother. She got them from her mother, and it was cumulative. So my family tree is a watermelon patch. Now it's more like a weeping willow, but that's not the
Oh,
point.
God.
Is, guys, you don't realize that after a certain size, women have to go to special stores to buy bras because they're just that you can't get them at Target anymore, and you can't even get them at Victoria's Secret because her secret is she doesn't go above a triple D. You got to go to fancy stores with names like Lace and Intimacy and Wizard of Bras. I wish I was making that up. That's real. You can Google that. Wizard of Bras, legit. I don't shop there. I go to a store called Abrocalypse Now because you don't care that much. You just go to Bra-de-da. That's a good store. The problem is that since I lost all this weight, I have these $100 bras that I don't fill anymore. So I get like $100 worth of bra and $50 worth of boobs. 75 on a good day. I guess. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time on the.
Amanda.
Boss Amanda Cohen.
See you.
She's gonna get
Funny.
you free. That's what I'm talking about. And once again, educational game. She mentioned the keto diet, which is very important. I do a ghetto version of that. I was 6'4", I was 260 pounds a few years ago, and I took a picture and I had like that little vagina right here. It was very uncomfortable. And I had an extra neck on. I was like, I'm a rapper. And I was like, oh my God, right?
Wow.
So I cut everything. Bread, pasta, milk, cheese, all that stuff. I have a cheat day once a week though when I ate like God wasn't looking. Pick Sunday. That's his day off.
Yeah.
But you do that. It's basically for me, I just call it a caveman diet. If you can't kill it or pull it out the ground, you shouldn't be eating it. And pretty much ain't nobody messing with milk after being a baby. But you know, that shit does taste so fucking good. You know, if it's a holiday or if it's your one day cheat day,
Don't get cheat days. No cheat
do
days.
everything you gotta
No
do.
cheating, right?
You know what I mean? But easy way to lose weight. And guys, I hate working out. I'm lazy. You know, we look cute. You're kind of cute. You be lazy. Nah, that shit work. Right? So my thing was, I just stuck to the diet, really cut bread and pasta and rice and all that shit from my diet. And yo, that shit just burned off like a motherfucker. Just walked a little bit, extra more. So be healthy, everybody. If you want to make an easy way to lose weight, investigate the keto diet. And thanks again, and another round of applause for Amanda Cohen. Dive Bar Comedy 101. So we got a gentleman coming back to this.
Not been evaluated by a doctor. Talk to your doctor before you try keto.
Well, just to go. Well, so here's my version, right? 6 days a week, I basically what I said. If it's not just raw meat or just vegetables or fruit or nuts, don't need it. So no milk, no cheese, no extra sauces, nothing. If you do make a salad, it's got to be just oil and vinegar and salt and pepper and stuff like that. 60 meats. I mean, you can eat a whole pack of steaks. You can eat stuff all day, but don't put nothing else with it. No bread, no nothing else like that. And then one day a week,
From suing
eat like Satan. And I'm telling you, you be fine. One day a week, you eat like Satan. You eat just 50 chicken McNuggets, 4 Big Macs, a big old chunky girl if you like big women like me, you know, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get back on track. So you guys ready for the next comedian? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. So we got a gentleman come to the stage. And I like his name. His name sounds like he can do your taxes, so he must be a bad motherfucker. He is a master at using Zoom, if you don't know. So you gotta check him out. Get with this guy. He is the man. His name has the best initials, MF. So I'm sure his wallet says he's a bad motherfucker. So you guys ready for this guy? Can I get a yeah one more again?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Because of his initials, can I get a motherfucking yeah?
Motherfucker,
yeah.
Clap for Marty Final Man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. That's not my business card. I'm a bad motherfucker. We're getting it out. It's getting the words out there. It's kind of going. Social media is kind of picking it up now. So look, I got to be honest. I really think I'm doing too many Zoom shows. The other day I was in the market. I tried to unmute myself. Well, luckily nobody saw it. They all had their cameras off. So it wasn't a big deal. It was pretty simple. It was pretty simple. One of the good things about these shows is that my friends that live all over the country have the opportunity to watch me. They never do, but they have the opportunity. They're slugs, but they have the opportunity. That's the main thing. And being on Zoom, I am now unemployed all over the world. Had my first social media troll. Well, first troll that I'm not related to. No, it's true. Actually, he said he might have to kill me. Yeah, no, I hate it when people can't make up their minds. Come on, dude. I mean, can you imagine? I'm waiting in line 2 hours. I finally get the COVID vaccine, and then he decides, I mean, come on, your timing is horrible. And I hate to complain, but I gotta be honest. I'm pretty sure there's 2 L's in kill. You had 1 L. I know I'm not grading you on spelling, but if that means anything, I just want you to know that. So there's any significance to that. Yeah. And I mean, look, I'll be honest, it's tough getting older. Even sex is a challenge. And I already do cardio. Seriously. I mean, how much cardio do I need? Come on. I exercise, walk 5 miles a day. Yeah, and that's just walking to the bathroom. Actually, it's about 6 miles, but who cares? So this young kid that you thought I was an older guy, which is crazy. Just because I'm dating his grandmother. I mean, come on, where'd you get an idea like that? I mean, at least she's not pregnant. Just herpes. It's no big deal. No, I was just kidding. She's not pregnant. Of course not. She's on the pill. Well, blood pressure pills, but she's on the pill. That's the main thing. And like as you get older, things just change. Like now, I see a woman with a walker. My first thought is, I can be hanging my clothes on that walker. I need closet space. I got to get one of those portable closets. I'm desperate. I have to do that. So, and I already mentioned it, but you probably can tell. Yeah, I was adopted. Thank you. Well, a lot of adoptees wear this shirt. That's why people can tell. You get the memo every year. Well, the good news is that I am available now to get rehomed. So if anybody thinks, seriously, if anyone thinks I make a nice addition to your family, I would love to hear from you.
Mm.
I'm not high maintenance, but I am going to need help shaving the hair on my back. Just once a week. Come on, it's not a big deal. This is my birthday, maybe twice, but just it's not a big deal.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I did get adopted again, it would be like, hey, Billy, I'm your new brother. Yeah, I'm Mr. Fiddleman. We are going to be roommates, going to be sharing the same bunk bed. Want to borrow a football, a library book, some Viagra? No problem. No problem. Probably the most well-known adoptee that I know of is Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. Okay, we're both adopted, and we both prefer square hamburgers. What are the odds of that? I mean, that's unbelievable. Square hamburgers, two guys, both adopted. That's just astronomical. And somebody used my credit card to download music from iTunes.
Mm-mm.
And I decided I'm not going to press charges. Instead, I would like them to show me how you do it. I have no idea how you get the goddamn music, how you turn it on, how you change the channel. I mean, just give me a clue. Then we're even. And thank you very much. My name is Marty. Okay.
Woo, Marty!
Yeah.
Good morning.
I like. Great set. And once again, educational. He talks about something that's actually important in America and worldwide. The adoption scenario. One of the things I used to get pissed at was those famous people. They go to Africa, they'll grab some kid out of the jungle and shit and bring them back. And I'm like, yo, it's like 1 million kids right here, right down the street that need it. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I have this weird fantasy, right? So when I'm rich, I used to love the X-Men, and I always wanted to be Charles Xavier. So after I have my own kids, after I select women for genetic purposes and impregnate them, I'm also going to adopt other kids, and they will be American kids. And I'm gonna homeschool them and train them. They're gonna be like little Jesus babies. It's gonna be like the Serena Williamses and whatnot. And I'm just sick them on the world. It's like, oh my God, another one of them Anthony Jesus babies. So that's my plan. Round of applause for adoption, another round of applause for Marty. All righty, right. So we got one more comedian coming to the stage, and it's our closer for the evening. We always save the spice for the last. She is in LA, but she got New York flavor. That's why she got the brick wall, because she's from a brick city, and that's how it goes down. We about to get it in and close this thing out. No, this lady coming to the stage right now is cool, smooth, and got a lot of swag, like a dad don't play when he got a mouth in his gag, and when his wife is playing role-playing games, when she got a whole lot of swag and she twerked like Cardi B, make you say that. You know what I'm saying? So you guys ready for this next comedian? Can I get it? Wait. So no, wait. Stop. This next comedian right here, because this next comedian got a spicy name, right? And, you know, I'm a spicy guy. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta say something nice to it. So we gotta say, everybody gotta repeat with me when I count 3. So the words we're gonna say is what is it? Oh yeah, okay. Tu mira bonita. Okay. So on 1, 2, 3, you're gonna say tu mira bonita. 1, 2, 3. To
To
Miraculita.
Miraculita.
That's right,
To
right.
Miraculita.
Clap, 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 clap for the LA lady that's traveling all the way from New York, so she's harder than a motherfucker. Miss Tracy Esposito.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Oh my God, everyone is so funny. Thank you for having me. So good to be here. I am Italian and I look Jewish. Everyone thinks I look Jewish. I said, this is good. I'm leaving work early for the holidays when I had a day job. Always running out, always running out. I'm like, hi, my name is Tracy Esposito. I gotta go. The sun's coming down. Oh, Carol, thank you. I am from Staten Island. It's a nice borough. We have no murders, just missing people.
Hey.
Yeah, people in California go, where is Staten Island? I said, oh, where they throw Jimmy Hoffa for the bodies. Oh, yeah, I know that. Take care. They don't give a shit. But Staten Island, you get a lot of, I love Staten Island, but my family, they were a little negative, like Debbie Downers. You got a Debbie Downer in your family? I got a few Debbie Downers. Well, I just have one. She's my oldest sister. She's around like 62 years old. Everything is just negative. When Hurricane Sandy hit in 2012, I'm like, are you okay? She's like, I can't use my blow dryer. Like, like she's so vain, like people had no houses and she's worried about a blow dryer. But so when COVID came, I was like, oh, I don't want to make that call. New York got hit hard, but I did it. I said, how's it going? She goes, we're all doomed. Can you run my Facebook account if I die? Can you take over my Facebook page? I said, that's all you're giving me when you die? Who the hell wants to run that shit? What am I gonna do? Show a picture of her memorial? Whatever. I should just, I don't want to take over that. Give me some money, bitch. Anyway, I'm trying to keep it clean. It's late. Yeah, so she's negative. You know what I mean? I'm like, happy birthday. She's like, another year of this bullshit.
Hey.
Yeah, but she gained a few pounds during COVID, some people have. And, she said her husband was like, hey, get on top. And she's 60, she's heavier. And she just told me the other day this. I said, let me throw it in the act. She goes, what, did he want me to break his dick? But whatever, I don't know if that's funny. But anyway, she just lets it all out. Okay, so when she says Venmo, she goes, did you pay the guy on, did you pay him on Vimo? Is that, like, I think that's funny. Vimo, what are you talking about? But I'm glad to be here. COVID-19 really hit hard, when I first heard the news, I just was like, where do I get a mask? And my boyfriend's like, oh, I'll get you an N95. And I'm like, please, no guns, just get me a mask. Yes. Okay. Oh, good. We're still there. Yeah. So, no, but I do have to say one thing about my sister. She loves to go to funerals. Not lately, but years ago, a few years ago, I saw her at a funeral. I said, you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm missing American Idol season finale for this shit. Yeah, thank you. The guy couldn't have died tomorrow. I mean, I don't you tape it? Yeah, I like it live. Okay. So I just needed to say that about her. Yeah, it's tough with these masks. I mean, people get creative in California. One guy was dressed up as a whole freaking dinosaur in Trader Joe's, and I'm trying to get the fish, and his tail is hitting me. I said, get out of here. I gotta get the tilapia. The tail is, I mean, come on. He's like, I just wear a mask, okay? Don't get the costumes out. One lady had a lettuce wrap over her, a romaine lettuce wrap as a mask. She had two eyes in the slit. She goes, do you know where the apples are? I said, no, but I know where the lettuce is. I said, did you clean that? I mean, just terrible, terrible. So I am dating for the first time in 50 years. I'm dating, and now there's a plague. So there goes date night, unless it's in a parking lot. And I'm dating, and he's an actor. I know. He's an actor. Should I kill myself now? He's a nice actor, though. You know what I mean? I cooked the other day, and I said, can you clean? And he goes, oh, I don't clean. I'm an artist. Oh, and I'm the casting director, and you're the dishwasher. Action, go. I mean, it's ridiculous. The guy had no auditions. Loves to be on TV. Had no auditions last year. It was so big. He was so down. He was like crashing my Zoom 12-step meetings just to get on TV. It was terrible. I mean, he's 54 and he hurt his shoulder because he was body surfing during the pandemic, okay? You're 54, stay home and watch Netflix. You're not David Hasselhoff on Baywatch, okay? Cut it out. Because guess who's got to watch you do stupid exercises at 12 a.m. with the shoulder? Please, can't stand it. I think I have a minute left, right?
Yes,
Got a little
ma'am.
yeah, there you go. I love it. So he's, like I said, he's a nice guy, but he's a total slob. I never lived with anyone with that pandemic. It was crazy. He had eggshells in the kitchen. I mean, it was just all over the place. I can't even get into it. I'm going to get so mad. But he likes to meditate. He goes, I'm going to go meditate. He goes in the bedroom. I come in the bedroom. All the clothes are on the floor. The covers are ripped out. The pillows are on the floor. I said, what were you doing? He goes, I go, what, did you make love to 3 women? He goes, no, I was meditating. I said, to who? Black Sabbath? Listen, I got Obamacare. I love Obamacare. It's a $3 copay. Your doctor's half doctor, half mechanic, half screenwriter. I'll take it for $3, you know? And yeah, they just, I mean, it's tough. You go into the doctor's office and you're in the office and, during COVID, you got the mask on, your legs are in the air from the gynecologist. You're looking outside, you see the FedEx guy, you're waving to the FedEx guy with your legs in the air. And I'm like, do you want me to sign for that? I mean, for $3, I'll take anything. You know what I mean? He's like, come on in. I'll make you sign for that. Listen, you guys have been great. Thank you so much for having me. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah, round of applause for the Italian Stalliana. Crazy Esposito.
You're funny.
We gotta say it again. She got that New York feel too. I'm friggin' walking here. Say it for me.
Oh yeah.
Walking here.
I'm friggin' walking here. That's right. That's right. I'll beat you with a battle for a parking spot. What are you talking about? That's just courtesy. When you put the chair out there, now, East Coast thing, because a lot of East Coasters, when it snows and you put the chair in the parking spot, if somebody moves the chair, is it fairly legal to kill them at that point?
Actually, what you're supposed to do is take out your hose and cover their car with ice so they can't move it till spring.
Ooh. Oh.
That's the Chicago way.
Oh yeah, you guys do those kind of shoots where everybody dies, nobody goes to jail. You know what you're doing. Excellent. So great. So that was all of our comedians. Round of applause for all of our comedians, everybody. That was Dive Bar Comedy.
Oh, that was great.
And one thing, that's the tradition at the Dive Bar Comedy, because when you go to a dive bar, people drink. There's always the one drunk guy. And one thing the guys do when they get drunk, I don't know if women know this, guys always sing like classic love songs from their youth. Does any other guy do that on here when he gets drunk? Must be a black guy thing. So I'm gonna sing a song that I just thought of while I was getting drunk, and it's Belle Biv DeVoe, When Will I See You Smile Again? I'll sing a short, quick rendition of it. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna run through the comedian's name, and Squad Joe's gonna take us home. So let's see what we got. And I'm not moving the inch because I'm drunk. So tears I see drop from your eyes. Tell me why you cry. Guilt I feel when you look at me. Did I let you down? Girl, you see that I apologize. Tell me what to do to get through to you. Girl, it's not the same. I know I was to blame. Tell me when will I see you smile? Tell me when will I see you smile again? 'Cause I know I messed up, baby, and I know you're fed up. Sugar, tell me when will I see you smile again? 'Cause I know I messed up, baby, and I know you're fed up. Sugar. Dive Bar Comedy. Applause to Dive Bar Comedy. Everybody come there once again, back thing going for the guy that started off.
funny shit.
Let me back him up, Robin Lee. Jersey Connection coming in, causing trouble. Then we had Amanda Coburn, the Chi-Town shooter in LA. Gun smoke, you can smell the coffin on the screen. Ah, y'all don't know about that shit. She had to check in the middle of some shit. Yeah, I mean, keep that thing going. My man, the tax getter, the daddy with the Viagra king of these shit. Marty Fighter. And last but not least, La Italiana El Tres Marito.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Wild Joe, tell us where we go, because I'll be tricking like a hoe when I go to Mexico.
All right, well, thank you
The
guys
nipples.
all for watching out there on Facebook Live. We are also all over the internet starting tomorrow. You can check out the replay. It's a one-day delay. We're on divebarcomedy.com, or you could search Dive Bar Comedy on your Android or your iPhone podcast stations, and you will find us. Or check us out on Instagram or on Facebook at Dive Bar Comedy. We are live every Tuesday night, and the replay's up on Wednesdays. I'm Wild Joe. My baby is crying. I gotta go as usual, but it was super
Bye,
fun.
guys.
and
Good
thank
to
you
see
so
you, Amanda.
much.
Take
It's
care.
so
Thanks,
hilarious.
Joe. Thanks for having us.
Alrighty.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Bye,
Guys,
Amanda.
on the
Take
show.
care. Mister, good shit, man. Mister, good shit.
Thanks.
Hi, guys.
I don't want to curse in front of the kid. Amanda, I love those pads joke. Those pads, the
Shit,
pads
Mom.
and the last joke you did. I forgot, but
you relate
amazing,
to that.
amazing. Always good to see you.
One of my
Yeah.
new
Take care.